Welcome to your video about how to put together the new holiday greeting display. It's all about believing. We could see these items. You received an email with a PDF file, so you can open up this document on your phone. What I'll do when I'm at my store is I'll open it up on my phone and look at it that way. And it's helpful to see it put together to help you to figure out where everything goes. For the base, we're gonna start by just opening it up as much as possible to try to get an idea of where the score lines are, because most of the score lines are going to unfold to open it, or we're going to actually fold on these score lines to be able to get it assembled. This one pops open in kind of a square. The first thing we're going to do is turn it upside down so we can fold in the tabs on the bottom. And they are scored, they're on the sides. We're gonna fold them in. You can see they do go both ways, but you're gonna fold them in towards the inside. And turn it right side up again. I'll be turning it front ways and sideways because it is a little bit tricky the first time you go to put one together. This is gonna fold in to hold the card tray, but before we do that, we actually have to make space for it. So you can see there are some score lines along the side. This score line is where it was folded to make it small so it would fit in the box. We're gonna use the diagonal score line here. And that's gonna make our flat space for the card tray to sit onto. And there's one on the other side the exact same way. So if that helps, I know it's a little tricky the first time, but once you do one, you'll be able to get the rest of them together. It gets faster. So that's not exactly gonna stay in place until I get this front piece folded into it. And this has a score line along the bottom. This is actually the trickiest part because it's kind of tiny. So I'm gonna press down on it while I'm folding the top forward a little bit. And I don't know how you saw where it kind of started to give way there when it started to fold, but you'll wind up getting it. You can see it from the side. It's making a little table. And along the top we have some tabs that have scores as well. So what I'm doing is folding those down along the score lines and then looking for where those notches fit into along the base. And I can see it right here when we were making this flat space. I'm gonna just wiggle it right in there. It helps to sort of do the other one at the same time so they both fit, but you just keep adjusting it until you can get it in there snugly. And so there's our base. This is what it looks like from the front, and when we get the card tray on there, this will stay a little bit more secure. Happily, this is already put together for us, so all we're going to have to do is recognize where the bottom is. There's a slot here that actually fits onto this tab. So what I'm going to do is just line it up so this slides right onto here. And now it's fit on there pretty securely, but there's also an extra notch in the back to hold it together. When I turn it around, you'll see this looked funny before, but now we know what it's for. We're gonna pull this tab out of the back of the base. It's right there for you. And these, it's easier if you start by folding these together because this has to fit through here, and right now it won't, so I'm gonna fold these down and slide it right through there. And then they start to pop open, and this will hold it securely when you unfold them. Now it's locked in. I now have grabbed my sign holder and my sign. In this case, I said there were 3 or 4 pieces in the box. The sign holder actually came with this display. Usually this sign would come in it as well, except this sign actually was also in the box with the bag display. So when I opened up the bag display, there were 2 signs in there, one bigger one and one smaller one. And so I just held it aside because I figured we'd be using it for something. Normally, this sign would be in the same box, but sometimes things come a little bit differently, and just hold on to things that look important because they might be used later. So what I'm gonna do is match up my tabs and my slots again. On the top of this base, there's 2 slots for these tabs to hold the sign. I'm just gonna slide that on. And then on the back of our sign are adhesive strips. You're gonna pull those all the way off and then attach your sign. And that's it. Have fun.